Yo, what's up, guys? This is Mike from Foos 4 Trading, and welcome back to the small cap recap. Today is June 1st, start of a new month. And as usual, here to discuss today's recent small cap movers. As usual, I just like to give a brief overview of the general market. Had a pretty decent day in the Dow. We had great jobs numbers that are showing steady, improvement in the economy. Um, and all we're seeing is just great numbers around. So from an economic standpoint, what that means from a technical standpoint is the same story. We're still bouncing between 23 to 25,000 on the Dow, but things are definitely on the up and up. Again, more small cap movers today. Incredible action in the market. There are a few that I would like to talk about, and the first one is SLS. So this is formerly GALE, Gale. For those of you that don't know, and it's also a former runner. They actually did a reverse split, 1 for 30. So the stock really used to be 20 cents. So post reverse split, it's now trading at $6. Low float about 2 and change million shares. So it has been known to make rips. But this company is fundamentally garbage, very similar to Dry's reverse split after reverse split, and here we are. So everyone knows the end game. I just think a lot of people don't know that this is formerly Gale. So basically, they threw out some PR in the morning, and these types of stocks, guys, especially a chart like this. For me personally, I'm usually never looking to long it, just because I know fundamentally, what this company consists of. So what I usually look for is some type of pop into resistance. So as you can see on Gale, I have all these resistance lines drawn. We had significant resistance, in my opinion, at about 750, 7 and 8. And so the question was, how high can we go? This market's been pretty nuts. We've seen small caps move 100, 200, 300% intraday. So sometimes you can be right on the short, but you can be wrong on your timing. And that's the key lately, is making sure that your timing is key. So I've been trying to be a little bit more patient and not attack these pre-market. I usually like to wait. And ideally get in on some type of panic at the open, and that's basically what I did with SLS. I was looking for a pop over 7. Once we opened, 690, 680, we were tapping, and immediately, once I saw that weakness, I wanted to get involved. So I threw in a starter position at 680, got some fills, and then I also added, I believe, around 650 for this drop, and covered into the wash. My problem lately, guys, is I've been trying to nail the entire meat of the move, and lately, just because the way the market's been, that has not always worked. You can be right, for the first 10, 20 minutes, and if you hang around too long, you get caught up in the chop. So I ended up covering this at about 615 to 620 for a quick 10% gain. Was pretty happy, but we did form a mini descending triangle, and then once we did break down below 620, it was kind of lights out. That was a significant level pre-market. Anyone that bought this, was underwater. So this was your new resistance. You can see we came back up to retest. That was a nice place to short, and then we just kind of did an all-day fade. To do a little bit more deeper analysis, you could have went into SLS filing. As you can see, they have a lot of dilution. So it's a fundamentally garbage company. And this goes back to what I said in the prior video lesson. You want to know at least some idea about the company. What's the story? What's their fundamental story? Because it's going to give you that much more conviction. If you don't know the story, then maybe you're looking to long a stock like this. And in my opinion, it's not always the best edge. So again, former runner, going to see charts like this a lot. Great short and really nice fade. So hope some of you guys were able to play it. Other one I'd like to discuss is CLWT. Former runner as well, 5-cent mover. They threw news out this morning of a special 70-cent dividend. I didn't expect much of it. The company does not have too much cash. And I didn't know if it was going to hold up. We've seen this thing make crazy moves or move to the downside. So basically, I wanted to see this pop a little bit more before I shorted. We were basically at around $4. It was trading near 6. Was hoping for maybe a pop over 6 to 7. You can see resistance 630, 680, and $7. And unfortunately, I just didn't get anywhere. I'm kind of glad I avoided this today because the volume. These 5 centers are never easy. Thankfully, from what I hear, they might end the tick pilot program, but we'll see once it happens. But this is just a good example of, again, just like SLS, this is a Chinese stock, you know that most of these things are garbage. And you don't want to be getting involved in the long side. So it's a really great short. Unfortunately, again, a little bit lower volume and a 5-cent mover, not the easiest trade. But again, just another example of utilizing pre-market support and resistance levels. It was basically struggling with $6 to 5.90 as well as 5. And then once those levels were cracked, just a really nice move to the downside. So this is a great one as well. And the other one, actually two others that I'd like to talk about, CODX. So this is something I mentioned in chat, and this is just a really nice 13 EMA bounce. But again, guys, garbage company, low float stock, basically got pumped back here from $1.50 to $3.50. So you had a lot of resistance. I would say at this, we actually popped as high as 470. So this thing just kind of got 2 days of really low selling volume compared to the green days, and then today they threw a PR out, excuse me, and then once this thing was also SSR, chat rooms got involved and just ripped. So the question is, I was mentioning this in chat today, are you trying to trade this intraday, or did you just play that morning momentum? It's really not been easy lately. This is actually a perfect F1, which is a pattern that we like to look for. It's a momentum breakout over $4, halted, we ripped to 6, 590, and you can see that this thing is basically right or near all-time highs. So if you're buying near highs, guys, you are most definitely chasing. So I was telling people in chat to be very careful with this. There was no locates to short it, but I said that everybody is looking at this 480 level. So once, that's only about, we were trading at about 530, so I said that's a 10% move from here. That can happen in seconds, and once 480 cracks, you got a lot of people that are going to be underwater. So we started to get near that level. We did crack it at 3 and dropped significantly. Nice little double top at 590. Test here, and then I'm a big fan of these trend breaks lately because I like to extend the trend. And you can see that once we cracked trend, it did come up, and you can use that trend line as a possible resistance zone to confirm the move. So this is a really nice mover. Long and short. It's just that without being too biased, I think there was a lot of chat rooms and pumpers involved with this. So if you made one on the long side, great. Just don't be the last one holding the bag. So definitely something I'll be watching next week as well. And speaking of pump jobs, the last one I want to talk about is JAGX. Lately, guys, we get these stocks that are reverse splits. What that means is the company will reduce the float and increase the share price from a psychological standpoint to make the stock seem more attractive to investors. So nobody knows it was just trading at 10, 20, 30 cents. All of a sudden it's $3. Everybody's happy, right? Well, what you get is because the share float on JAGX was reduced from I think 100 million to about 10ish. So 10 million share float is very small. This was a straight up pump and dump. Chat room gets involved at $2. They don't even ask any questions. There's no news. There's no catalyst. It's just sheep. Longing this, it gets halted at 320 and goes right back to where it was, literally in 2 minutes. So you want to avoid longing these stocks, guys, at all costs, in my opinion. There's no catalyst. There's zero hot daily chart. There's no consolidation. There is no daily chart that would tell you that this is a good and rational long. It is literally just chat rooms, pumping, and dumping. So how do you know which ones to avoid? They like to pump reverse splits. Stocks that were pennies and now all of a sudden are trading a couple bucks, low share float, and just a lot of low float plays, guys. So the key, in my opinion, is I like to long, but I'm much more selective with longing. I want to see some type of consolidation on the daily chart, stock that has had momentum, volume starts to come in, etc. These are the types of plays that are really not. They're difficult to anticipate unless you have a scanner. You're not going to go, the night before and look at JAGX chart and say, wow, this is something I would definitely look to long tomorrow. The only reason it popped is because they reverse split, low float, chat rooms get involved, and this is what happens. So I just warn everybody to kind of think psychologically and have a trading edge that is consistent and works in the long run and not an edge that you're just looking to get rich overnight. So just a lot of action in the market lately, guys. Really looking forward to next week, but also using the weekend to detox. So I'll be throwing out more content. YouTube a day is my goal. The more you guys share, subscribe, and like, I'll do it 2 a day if I have to. I want to use this to prove to you guys how these stocks work. help you find your edge, and ideally provide the community with some free content to make you a profitable trader. So I hope everybody enjoys their weekend, get some rest. Check out the YouTube channel tomorrow. I'll put something out. God bless. Catch everyone next week. Peace.